May Brahman protect us, may he nourish us, may we work together with great energy, may our study be vigorous and fruitful, may love and harmony dwell amongst us. Om, peace, peace, peace. So I welcome you all to this retreat of ours. As you all know, we propose to discuss the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. 18th chapter is considered as the summary of the whole Gita. This chapter gives a summary of the whole Gita and the Vedic religion and philosophy. It means everything is contained in this. Not only this, as you know, Bhagavad Gita is a part of the Mahabharata, the great epic. Mahabharata is considered to be the fifth Veda. What is there in that Veda, in the Mahabharata? Tell me what is not there. That's how it is talked about. That means all Vedic religion, philosophy, the Vedic religion is the Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma, eternal religion, eternal principles of religion are there. That is why Bhagavad Gita has become so important in a spiritual seeker's life. It is not only that, appropriate to its name, immortal message or eternal message, so it is universal. It is universal. For everyone, it is, every spiritual seeker is applicable. So it is presented that way. Especially the commentaries afterwards, adapted to the age. When you read the comments on Bhagavad Gita by Swami Vivekananda, it is appropriate to this age, the language that is put. So that is what we are trying to understand, the summary of the whole Gita and the Vedic religion and philosophy. You know how Bhagavad Gita starts, It is a battlefield. The battlefield, and the main hero of this Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, and then his disciple Arjuna, they discuss. Arjuna's question is this, as we all know. Question, there was no energy and left to question even. He broke down. Seeing an unpleasant duty. An unpleasant duty had to be done. So how can I do that? How can I do that? So that is the situation. How can I do that? It is better to get away from all these things. Instead of doing this kind of unpleasant thing, better to run away from all that. Close your eyes. Close your eyes and go. Otherwise what happens, if I go there, I will have to do many, many unpleasant things. So the best way is to skip. So that is the conflict. I want to skip because this battle means one thing leads to another. Many unhappy things happen, and or dirty things happen. I don't want to participate in that. I want to go away. But where did you go? Now something right has to be done. Something good has to be done. That is the definition of duty. It has to be done. You can't simply run away. It has to be done. And it should be right. It should be right. What is that right? I feel this is right. You feel this is right. We all have talked in the train. When you were teenagers, I think that's that way. This is my way. And you will say, this is your way. So is it the way to go on? Huh? Is it my way or your way? Then the thinking person will say, maybe my way or your way. What is the right way? What is the right way? There should be benefit from that. Minimum of defect, minimum of problem, minimum of defect, minimum of useless things. It should not go waste. So, how to face this situation? Situation is always that. Whether I do or I run away. I don't do. The dilemma is this: if you do this also, there are problems. If you don't do this also, there are problems. If you do this, some advantages are there. If you don't do this, some advantages are there. So, I want maximum advantage, minimum disadvantage. And all these things, what for? What for? That question bothers a thinking person. I am doing all this, what for? What is the meaning of all this? What is the meaning of all this? So, Sri Krishna is there to solve that question. How to handle this peculiar situation. If I do this also, there are problems. If I don't do this also, there are problems. Which is worse? So that situation comes to all of us. One time or the other comes. If one is a thinking person, want to do something in life, find meaning in life, these dilemmas are more. Good people have more problems than bad people. Have you not seen one who wants to adhere to truth? A lot of conflict within. One doesn't care. Anything is all right. If you go in life, anything is all right. Less problems. Less problems on the face of it, that's all. There are more problems. There are more morality, all this you consider good and evil. There are more problems. On the surface it appears like that. So if you utter a lie, it is sweet and pleasant and quickly it is all, everything is solved quickly. Just utter a lie. You will solve this problem. Just one simple untruth will carry the day. It's all over. But here it is more, it is not only psychological, not only social, it is psychological. How do you feel inside? What is happening to you? that side is there. If you psychoanalyze or spiritual psychoanalyze, so you'll see these people who have more insight go that way. Here outside, one day you can escape. A thief, you can escape one day. How long can you escape? Oh, after the thieving, after the stealing, I will die. Problem is solved. Problem is solved. Borrow a lot of money and then die. A simple solution, Simple solution if it happens. But it is not that simple. It follows you wherever you go. Wherever you go, it follows you. Until you account for it. Until you account for it. If you today explain in quotation mark, answer those questions, yes, you are solved. If you run away, problem is solved, is not solved. So all this question comes up again and again. And people have tried to solve this question in hundreds of ways. And what is the Krishna way? And how do you handle this? Where you solve the problem, and then because you solve the problem, you will have peace. And then you will have satisfaction. All this will come. For that, Sri Krishna prescribes. Can you tell in one word? What is Krishna's solution?
Detachment.
Huh?
Non-attachment.
Interaction?
Non-attachment.
Fight.
All right.
Fight.
Huh?
Fight the battle.
Fight the battle, of course. But how do you fight the battle? Because as far as I have, my idea is it is yoga. The technique of yoga, the non-attachment, technique of yoga. Yoga karmasa kaushalam, the technique or the skill in yoga. How fighting you have to do anyway. Anyway you have to fight. The world is structured that way. Life is structured that way. I will sit quiet. You are not allowed to do that. Try. You are not allowed to do that. Oh, that has to be done. Get up and go and get it. I have not called my friend for a long time. I get up. So, one reason or the other, you are shaken there, The world is structured that way. And then we have to adapt to that structure. If you simply sit, it won't go. If you, instead of sitting somewhere, you will sit in the retreat. Instead of doing that, you will doing something else. So, this whole world, even one moment, a person cannot sit quiet. Person or mind, any small or big, microcosm, macrocosm, everywhere, it's a constant state of flux, constantly moving about. Moving not in harmony, chaotic. Is there any law in this world? Yes. Small yes, big no. It is not there. Lot of struggle, interaction, chaotic interaction. So in this, I am also crazy, you are also crazy. All of us are crazy. So we want to bring some order. order also will be crazy. So in this, how to make it meaningful? Then we say relatively meaningful. Relatively meaningful. So, and then various methodologies are given that we have all studied or we are supposed to know. All put together. So work is the action, it is subject matter of the whole world. For any philosophy or any social science, it is that. What to do in this, how to make a move, and what is it for? So, Krishna doesn't say in one word, this you do, it will be all right over. You can't understand if it is just like that. Step by step, step by step, step by step, from this angle, from that angle. So Arjuna is confused. Many times he is confused. You are telling this now, you are telling that now. Sometimes you say, give up all this. Give up all this. If I try to give up, you will come and say work, 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 work. Opposite you will say. So, what do you mean by that? That's how this chapter starts. What do you mean by that? Giving up. It is more a psychological question inside. This also they say, that also will say. So clearly you should say what it is. What I should do in one sentence, one word you should say. Oh, I forgot to bring that. Please see whether the second volume is the Swamiji's. One I had taken it. Second volume was it. Swamiji takes up this question also. Give up. Give up. Drop it. Will I drop and go? So we all gather together. Why all this drop? Go. It happened on one of the very saintly Swamis. You have heard of Sringeri Mutt? Sringeri. He started by Shankaracharya. Recently means the last century, there was an abbot. He was considered to be a Jivan Mukta, Chandrasekhara Bharati. A student of his used to say, he used to give classes on Vivekachudamani or Gita or somewhere. Suddenly, he would stop. What's all this? And get away and go inside the room and sit. Once or twice people tolerated. He was the abbot of a huge organization, central organization. They thought he is crazy. So they put him in under lock and key. So many things happened afterward, unpleasant things. But much later they found out the real thing. So if you do that, stop all the retreat. I go to my room. What has happened to him suddenly? So, stop, give up, kick off, destroy all this. There must be some thinking people do this. We are all supposed to be thinking people. Do this, there must be some meaning. Or it should be done in such a way, should become meaningful to that. All of us will understand, supposing we sit, say we close our eyes for meditation. All of us understand it is for a purpose we are all doing. You are not crazy. A time comes in our program, we meditate. Yes, all right. So, we have stopped all the work. But people in general consider us also as crazy. What is this? 8 days, precious 8 days. Instead of going on hiking or something, sitting here, same old stuff. hearing, how many times you have heard? It is there. Are we not crazy? Yes, all great spiritual masters are called crazy. Spiritual seekers also are called crazy. Even all of us were called crazy one time or the other by our friends. You know, I know about myself. Our friends say, he's good, but he's crazy. That's all. So, it should be interpreted. We should be able to understand that. The interpretation. Simply, oh, it's understanding, who cares? Who cares if people don't understand it? I'm like this. You cannot go on like that in social life. You know. Who cares? We owe explanation to some people at least. Or family, or friends. At least that effort must be there. Effort must be there. Some people are not convinced, whatever reason you may give. That's another matter. But there are some thinking people, those who can understand, we owe explanation to them. I am like this, don't ask me anything. That's not fair. Afterwards we feel unhappy about it. So our teachers tell us how to explain to ourselves. We are not here to explain to all people. Explain to ourselves. So here, I was thinking of the Swamiji's. The detachment. This we have discussed many times. Anyway, it is worth repeating. This is in the God in Everything lecture, God in Everything. The whole world is full of the Lord. Open your eyes and see Him. Just open your eyes and see Him. He is there. You at that. What can we make out of it? Just see. Don't you see? He is there everywhere. This is what Vedanta teaches. Give up the world. You talk of world, just give up. Give up the world. What world? Give up the world, the meaning he was on. What you have conjectured. We imagine our own world. All sorts of imagine according to our desires, our needs and desires, passions, all those things, our own selfish way of looking at things. We have conjectured. Give up the world which you have conjectured, because your conjecture was based upon a very partial experience. You are very half-baked intellect. If it is full, it is understandable. It is unbaked. No use talking to that person. But it is not like that. or fully baked or fully unbaked. It's all right. But there is one stage, middle stage, half baked. I don't know whether you use this, maybe Indianism. If you say crazy, that's not strong enough. If you say sane, that's also not good, a good person. How to make a strong comment on this? You're half crazy. But we had our own abbreviation, C by 2. C by 2. So it is half experience. You know, babies, if you wake them up when the sleep is not enough, they become very, very restless. This half is, in fact, and in Vedanta we use the word ignorance. Ignorance, we use the word. Not that person who doesn't know anything, cannot understand anything, it is not that. It is mystic twilight. He is good, but he is not good. He is crazy. No. He is not crazy. Oftentimes he is all right. So like that, mystic twilight, grey area, they're all grey, neither white nor black. That is a problem. And the other is a snake and rope example. You're all familiar with that. If it is snake, I can understand. It is snake, we'll do something. Or no, it is rope. That's also all right. But somewhere it is in between. That causes confusion. In between stage. So, our all ordinary experiences are like that. It is full, not full. Somewhere you are hanging. If you are here also is all right, here also is all right, in between. Wobbling. Give up the world which you have conjectured, because your conjecture was based upon very partial experience, upon the very poor reasoning. That is why, what is the method of getting rid of this? Reason properly. Vichara. Disciplined reasoning. And upon your own weaknesses, give it up. The world would have been thinking of, you have been thinking of so long, the world to which we have been clinging so long, is a false world of our own creation. False in this sense. Neither this nor that. That world create, and then we go on with that world. We operate in that world. The fun is, I have my own world, you have your own world. You don't know how we are managing. We seem to have some kind of an order, some kind of an understanding. Like that we go on. That is why it is so fragile. So fragile. Any time it may break. Our understanding, it's all going on very nicely, orderly way. At any moment, very loosely hanging on somewhere. That is what we see. Friendship and then relationships and this and that. Any time it can go. Any time it can break. What we call the combination. Commentators explain in some places, in commentaries. It is this union and separation. It is so temporary. Coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. Give that up. It's a false world of our own creation. Give that up. Open your eyes and see that as such it never existed. It was a dream. It was Maya. What existed was the Lord Himself. It is He who is in the child, in the wife, in the husband. It is He who is in the good and in the bad. He is in the sin and in the sinner. He is in life and in death. So, this is what Sri Krishna wants to say. The situation is like this, so in that what to do? So in one way if you go, since Sri Ramakrishna's words, avidya maya, you will enter into greater confusion, more and more confusion, more and more darkness. If you go the other way, then you are slowly being liberated. Vidya maya. So then what is the meaning of all this? Why should we do all this? It is the meaning is this. What existed was the Lord Himself. It is He who is in the child, who is in the wife, everywhere it is He. It is that which gives meaning. And a challenge, try any other method. Nanya pantha vidyate ayanaya. There is no other way. No other way. Bring science, bring all the gadgets, technology, this and that, to bring anything. Oh, now it is not there. After 100 years it will come. It will come, you see. Or Google will get it out, get that also. You can get any information, any alternatives are there. No. Satyameva jayate. Truth alone triumphs. This is the truth. They make a very, very categorical statement. Challenging, there is no other way. So, solution is this. Realization of the truth is the solution. All other things, the methods are there. And as far as methods are concerned, you may say, there may be some other method, some other combination. Agreed. Agreed. That is Vedanta way is this. Truth is fixed. Satya se satya, truth of truth. But the method, yes. Our opinions about the truth, yes. This is my opinion, alright. My opinion of truth, your opinion of truth. Truth is the same. That one, your opinion you may have. You may look at it in a different way. Especially Sri Ramakrishna's teachings. Put a stamp on that. Yes, paths are many. Truth is one. It's the ancient Vedantic idea. Truth is one. So, this one, the first, still so many people are yet to come. So we'll begin this. Sri Krishna has used two words for this giving up. Sometimes he uses tyaga. Sometimes he uses sannyasa. If you can remember these two Sanskrit words, it will be good. Sannyasa and tyaga. Students of Sanskrit know the same meaning. Sannyasa is giving up, and then tyaga also giving up. Sannyasa, and that's in translation also. He says sannyasa, as distinguished from each other, O mighty Hrishikesha, O slayer of him. And the commentator says here, sannyasa and tyaga, both words are generally used to mean renunciation. They have been thus used in the preceding chapters without distinction. This is, I am reading from Swami Nikhilananda Swami. Is there any other translation anyone has? What do they say in two words? Translation. Huh?
Here it says sannyasa is renunciation and tyaga is abandonment or resignation.
What is the difference in English? abandonment and renunciation.
Difference is that from not taking action versus taking action and not seeking the fruits from the action.
We say, I can't hear.
No.
I can't see it all. Please close that curtain.
Yeah.
Oh, that you have to create some difference. You can mean the other way too. Both mean the same thing. And they have used those words in the same sense in different places. So, Sri Krishna, you may say, creates some confusion in the mind of the student or the reader, to make them think and then go deeper into these things. And the Lord said, this is Arjuna's question. These two words have you used. What is the difference? Renunciation of works induced by desire is understood by the sages as the Sanskrit I remember. Kamyanam karmanam tyaga. This is selfish actions. Giving up selfish actions. Give me your Sanskrit book. Where is your Sanskrit?
Yeah, I have.
Sorry. Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu. Renunciation of kamya actions, selfish actions. Actions, we do certain actions to bring some good results for us. Especially in the Gita, it is the kamyanam karmanam. Selfish action means, in a general way, of course, they are all selfish actions. Especially these rituals which are performed to get some benefit in the after death, in heaven. Every tradition has its own heaven and hell. I will go to heaven, that is why I do this. Or even, there are two types, Ishtapurta, there are two types of good action, these selfish actions. One, these rituals. I offer oblations to fire and different types of rituals. Through that I go to heaven. Another is social. Make some roads where there are no proper roads. Make parks or dig wells. Charitable activities is another type. Why do I do charitable activities? I should have good karma. After I die, I should get all the results. I do good to people. When I am here, I do good to people so that they may good to me. They do good to me. This give and take. If I am good to people, when I need them, they'll be good to me. That is why I do good. That is why I do good. Future expectations. That is called kama karma, selfish action. True, socially people are benefited. I give $1 million for something, lot of benefit comes to people. But what is the motive behind? I should get a good name. My name should come in that Guinness. It should come there, or I should get a title. So that becomes selfish. So giving up such actions, Kamya action, the sages understand as sannyasa, that is called sannyasa. The wise declare the abandonment of the fruit of all actions, tyaga. What is the other one? Abandonment of all the fruit. Sri Krishna is trying to give us different definitions. How people understand about this giving up work. Some philosophers declare that all actions should be relinquished as an evil. It's all extremist. Every action, as Krishna replies later on in this chapter, whatever action, however you do, there will be some defect. Don't be carried away with such statements. Some philosophers declare that all actions should be relinquished as an evil, whilst others say that the work of yajna, gift and charity, austerity should not be relinquished. Some others say all the worldly actions may be given up, but not yajna, dana, tapa, charity, and then yajna, the sacrifice, and tapas, austerity or concentration, that should not be given up. Because hear from me the final truth about relinquishment. All right, Krishna gives the final truth. This is my final truth. For relinquishment has been declared to be of three kinds. The work of yajna, gift and austerity should not be relinquished, but it should be indeed be performed, because they purify us. Austerity or purifying to the wise, but purification and all is all there. But see, that also is done with non-attachment. Should be performed leaving behind attachment and the fruits, such is my best and certain conviction. Kartavyaniti me partha nishtitam matamattamam. And then it is giving up, the description of giving up. There are so many kinds of giving up is there. That we shall take up tomorrow. All right, come on, if you have any comment, question. Now, as he says, it is summary of the whole Gita. Gita, any question on the Gita? You're all right to discuss. Swami says, religion is renunciation. Giving up is religion. So then we have to know the meaning of this renunciation. Partial meaning, if we give, then we will be in trouble.
Swami, I have a reflection. When I first started listening to your lectures and asking you questions, I wanted clear, one-size-fits-all answers. Never got them.
One answer.
Yeah, and so I think that's the focal point of what I've heard this morning, is that aren't precise, codified rules that you can follow in life, because life is just too confusing, too complicated. So all you can do is sort of have a practical approach to dealing with the challenges of life with these sort of guideposts that Krishna is providing Arjuna along the way, and confuses the heck out of Arjuna because they do seem contradictory. But there's so many nuances that we have to face in life that there's no way that a clear answer can be given.
No way?
I don't think a clear answer can be given at any, that, you know, for an overall one-size-fits-all kind of answer philosophy to living. It requires experience, it requires day-to-day trial and error, and it requires the help of somebody that's been through it before, that has wisdom to share.
Sure, whole life is for that purpose. We experience, we struggle hard to get the meaning, and we go on. Each aspect of life is a preparation for that. In different social systems, it is talked about in different ways. There is a social system and a spiritual system, the philosophies, they all. But what they authoritatively said things only one thing. They all culminate in the realization of truth, what you are, the true nature of things. That is fixed. What is the meaning of all this? There is one statement in the Bhagavatam. All these yogas, philosophies, these philanthropies, and then rituals, yogic practices, tapas, all this, they all culminate in one thing. Some directly, some indirectly. They all go to the same truth. That common experience will come. There is the unity. Here is always diverse only. In this chaotic, diverse world, how can you bring in one system? People have tried, they have failed. My religion will conquer the whole world. It can never happen.
Well, and I think what's being said here too is you can't step aside from the fight just because you don't know the answer today. That you have to take action, and that
That's exactly what we are talking about. Exactly, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the message here. You got to engage in the battle, and that by going through the trial and error of that battle, you'll be purified.
Exactly. Sure. Trial and error, trial and error. If we try, to some extent we understand. Another trial and error, a little more. Another trial and error, a little more. But still, the human nature is how to minimize that. How to quicken the growth. Swamiji was impatient, giving it in a natural way, go, evolution. No. We can do something to quicken the whole process. That is, he says, yoga is the process. Tremendous effort, no doubt. Like any factory or somewhere, tremendous work is there. How much is being wasted here? So minimize the waste.
Maharaj? yajna, dana, tapa, three kinds of actions.
Which one?
Yajna, dana or tapa is recommending this he should do yajna, dana or tapa.
Yes.
Now the war that is asking Arjuna to fight, under what category would that come? Would that be yajna, would that be dana, would that be tapa, or what?
Dana.
Tapa.
Tapas, I think they put in tapas. Daily duty. It is tapas. You get warmed up, you are burnt as it were. At the first level, Arjuna gets this answer from Krishna. At the first level, it's your duty. It has to be done. That means there is no question about it. Already we have written the contract, we have signed the contract. When you are born in this world, in a particular situation, that is your duty. It is for your good, for the good of all people. It must be done. There is no option there in duty. You are caught in this, you are put in this situation, it must be done. Later you may change it, that's a different matter. In this particular, it's a relative world, relative to this today, relative to your situation, it has to be done. Otherwise I will get out. Where do you get out? From frying pan to fire. Your life will be more difficult. Spiritual psychologists say your life will be more difficult. That is why the idea of duty is a very ancient one. The idea of duty in all races, all traditions, because they have found that is in this confused world, that is the way. If you miss that, that is why duty is talked about, it is holy and then it has to be done. That is the best situation you are in, your duty. So dharma nidhanam shreya, die in that. You dedicate yourself to that and rise above. Graduate from that. Then the next duty will come. Graduate from that too. If you drop out, you are in trouble. So dharma is a great strengthening factor. Then you will get relief. Think of our senior citizens, they have done a good job in their duties and all that. How they feel, lot of peace. I have done my job very well. There I am maintaining the honesty, truthfulness, all that. If they have done that job, lot of peace and lot of meaning in their life. There's only one stage that will lead to the other stage, self-realization. It is not negation of work, running away from battle. How to win it, how to rise above it. Most often people make this mistake. But somehow you should be doing all the time. No, there is a way out. You can graduate from this. You don't have to be struggling like this. Because the struggle, it brings in a kind of intoxication. I succeed, like like gambling. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail. I lost $500,000. Oh, the next step I will get it. Like that, calculate and then get caught in that, you go to sleep as it were. You love it. You love getting lost and love gained, loss and gain. Dvanda moha it is called. This loss and gain, profit and loss, pairs of opposites that bring a kind of intoxication. You don't want to enjoy that. That is our reasoning. If you want to enjoy success, I must have failed. Then I said, that's true also. I must have failed. So there is a state, there you don't have to enter into this problem of gaining and losing. That is difficult to imagine. There's a higher state, not lower state. So, we want to remain in that old stage. So, Krishna, Buddha, Ramakrishna and others, they all come. No. There's a far superior state than that. So, Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, it appears to be very insipid afterwards, all this. Fights and winning over something and all that are becoming depressed over some. We love all these things. But there is a higher stage than that, where this is all child's play. It's all child's play. It's far superior to this, all this. God realization and self-realization is far superior to this. The childish, immature, is all immature. Then we get angry. You call this immature? We don't accept that immaturity. Balaha mandaha. These two words are used. Bala is childish. And then manda, dull-witted. The other side, dhiraha. Heroes are there. Heroes, wise people, they see what they are, what things are.
Swami, I just wrote down these words about transcending the intoxication of these opposites. And I said, boy, that's a really good ideal, but I can't do that on a day-to-day basis. I'm facing life all the time, and so...
No, you're in the process.
So so then the question is that what this step-by-step renunciation is about? It's just like, take the action and just, all right.
That's it. I know what it is. I know. Struggle, everything is there. I enjoyed it. I did very well. All this, but now I know its limitation. not only do I know its limitation, I know the other one, higher, there is a higher one, the joy of illumination.
So this is an
Like the
attitude.
joy of becoming a mature person, where he can think, he can see things of life in a mature way. And compared to, say, when we were in high school, we had our own world. I can do everything. One boy told, you give me enough time, I can do anything. Only time short, that's all. Shortage of time. He was in high school. That is good. For him that is good, that should be there. Because he will do something better than what he would have done otherwise. Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji used to have arguments. One of them is this. In this life, if we try hard, if one tries hard in spiritual life, anyone can realize God. That is Swamiji's. Sri Ramakrishna used to smile, and then Swamiji says, I would never accept his arguments. But now I have grown up. I say, what Sri Ramakrishna told is right. What did Sri Ramakrishna say? In this life, not all can become men and women of realization. They have to wait for some lives. But Swamiji could not accept that. But later in life, he says, I argued with him, my teacher, but now I see whatever he said was right. It's a maturity, mature way of looking at it. He's a young man with so much of enthusiasm, full of love for everyone. Why not? Why not? If young people have so much of imaginary ideals and all that, if they come and argue with their parents or older people don't want to discourage them. They've done, but it is good also. They are doing very well at that. But there is something more to be added. The perspective will change. A bigger perspective will come. That is, mature perception is bigger perception. That's why Swamiji's formula is there. You have done well, but you do better afterwards. Meaning what you have done is not enough. Don't put any limit, there is more to it. That is the controversy is there. One line of thinking seems to say, this is it. Spiritual seekers, spiritual teachers say, no, there is more to be done. That is I have done my best and all what more is there? That spirit is the call it limited perspective. Very broad definitions. Spiritual seekers are not satisfied what is there on hand. They want to do more than that. The story of Sri Ramakrishna's story of woodcutter, In the silver mine, there is a gold mine. If you get a gold mine, there is a diamond mine. Like that, more diamond mine, oh, that's the best thing available. No, it will be more will come. Don't stop anywhere. Move on.
Swami, I have another question. So you're talking then about self-reflection every step along the way. You've got to take, every time you do anything, you have to then look at it and see how good it was and how you can improve it. And it seems to me that that is just an endless marathon. You ran 3 miles yesterday, you got to run 4 miles tomorrow, and forget about eating a candy bar. It just seems so hard.
So,
Hard.
It's just relentlessly difficult. At what point can you sit down for a minute and say, wow, I
but
did.
you can look at it the other way too. It will always be fascinating and always there's something more to do. Otherwise you become stagnant. This is over, finished. There's always more to do. That Ulysses spirit, Ulysses, to strive, to seek and not to yield. I will drink life to the lees.
Swami, if we're half-baked, then we're making half-baked judgments, aren't we? If we're immature, making a judgment on ourselves is from an immature point of view. How do you move through that?
Relatively, you will do better and better, that's all. Even that is not 100% perfect. Maturity also is a growing thing. Don't put a stop there. Scriptures seem to put a stop at self-realization. But even then, self-realization is, I get it and finished. It is not that. Spiritual experience is not a limited experience. Infinite experience, it goes on like swimming in the sea. What we call highest realization is touching the sea, near the beach. But afterwards, swimming in the whole of Pacific Ocean. Think of that. Shoreless ocean, the infinite. You get lost in that thinking. You may say that's what you are telling. Even maturity has some immaturity there. Yes, that is this world. Some defect will be there even with all those. That makes whole spiritual life bubbling and fascinating. Still more to be done, still more to be done. Like our scientific research. Is there any end to that?
Swami, so even with self-realization, there's more work to be done. Keep growing in that.
Yes. Up to, compared to all this, it appears to be a retired life. Yes, in a way it is when compared to this. But if you ask them, have you known God, about God, all about God? Who can know? You know that song, even the 6 darshanas, when you say Divine Mother, even all the scriptures and all that, they use their poetic, philosophical imagination, all that. They have not said anything there. If you try to limit the infinite, that means what is your definition of infinite? This is on the discussion level. But in the practical life level, all these have to be corroborated by our experience, then we'll get more and more meaning out of it. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Hearing and ready studying, and Manana reflection, and then comes deep thinking on that, meditation on that. Then the other thing will be, you will know it. Vedanta leaves it at that. You don't have to ask questions. You will know. These are all preliminary stages where we think and meditate and discuss all that. That's all fine. That's the process. It becomes more and more meaningful if we practice and then get some glimpses and all that, then it becomes more and more meaningful. Once I asked one of my friends, he was a geology, he was doing some masters in geology. I used to see in his lab, I used to see as I was walking near his lab, I used to sit near the window, the microscope, and then a crystal, keep it there. Whole day he's sitting there. Hey, is it not boring if you do that? Then he said, no, Swami, it is very fascinating, very fascinating. Another friend, a medical friend, one day he came to our house and he came with a bone. And he was studying in our place. And he's looking at it, whole day he's looking at it. And what did you do the whole day? It's very fascinating to study the bone, structure of the bone. So as you do, you find actual things, you get a lot of joy out of it, you know. Same thing in spiritual life too. You're trying to practice, and then sometimes you pass, sometimes you fail. All that gives a lot of encouragement and joy. Even though a little of some kind of experience means, I don't mean some kind of a mysterious, something like that. I don't mean that. Experience of just practice. Like a gymnasium. You go and then practice, something you feel better. Like that, inwardly feeling that. You know. It may be for all practical purposes, you have not achieved any spiritual experience, nothing. That is the difference between theory and practice. The very exercise giving satisfaction and joy, not the result of it. We study something in the Gita, want to try it in our office. Once we had a series of talks, you know, Vedanta in the office, Vedanta in the hospital, Vedanta is in a business house, like that each one. You want to experiment that, making the whole world a guinea pig for us, for our growth. Let me try. Life experiences, life the questions and all, these are the things that are talked about in scriptures and spiritual sayings and spiritual masters. Not something unusual somewhere. That's about practical Vedanta. Some people are suggesting they should cancel this walk after the talk, every time is to go to conserve energy. What else?
Swami, it strikes me that Arjuna's basic question was, what should I do and why? But Krishna answered him what he should do, why, and how as the most important thing, how he should act. And it seems that all of the spiritual teachings about how to live in life, how to do your actions, I think I've received them as being ways to change your mind so that you can meditate. And that meditation is actually the real goal of spiritual life, to be able to meditate successfully.
Where does he say that?
No? To purify the mind so it can concentrate
Concentrate on,
and succeed in meditation.
of course, that is one way of looking at it, one interpretation is that what you call the work and the struggle and all, they are all for purification of the mind, to help meditation. True in one sense. That thinking will know what it does. It puts meditation at the higher level and this is at the lower level. That's not right. Higher level comes the goal. God realization, self-realization, that experience, that is the highest. Meditation is part of our sadhana, spiritual discipline. One of the four, that is why meditation is on the jnana yoga. This is karma yoga. And that thinking also is there. But for a long time, all these are necessary. Even when those people say.
But most of the Gita sounds like this is the solution. Living like this is the way to realize God. This karma yoga. Is that the one-sided nature of the Gita?
One-sided?
Yes, that it's focused on karma yoga.
But karma yoga, bhakti yoga also he says that. Jnana yoga also he says that. This is the way to do it. So, if you want to take an overall picture, all these are necessary. All these are necessary as paths, yogas. So Ramakrishna cautions us. Yogas are not by no means yogas are the end. The end is God. Yogas are the methods. The bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raja yoga, karma yoga, all these are methods.
Well, I think what Eric said, also I see some point in that Yogastu Kuru Karmani, Shaman Tattva which is like the sum and substance of Karma Yoga, means whatever work you do, besides sitting meditation for realization, you also have to do your work in this world. Whatever work you do with kaushala, with yoga. And one tool of that is, I think, what Eric said, it teaches that whatever you do, you meditate and decide the best way to do that. So, for every action, Gita tells us to meditate on what is the best way to do that without being emotional or greedy. I think that is a point also. Is that
Oh, that is true. For whatever action you have to do, you have to meditate. That is why the samanvaya comes. You have to do all the things you have to be doing. If you don't do meditation, you can't work properly. And if you don't work properly, you can't do your meditation also. Supposing your work is not done properly. When you sit in meditation, all those things come. I did not do that, I did not do this, it happened like that. If you have done your work well, that has already prepared you for meditation.
look before you leap.
Huh?
Look before you leap.
Yes.
So before you do any work, give some time to meditate on it, to find the best way of doing it, and without thinking about the
The
result.
scientists and technologists, and they meditate. Their meditation is very deep. That is why they are able to find out so many different nice things, Lost in meditation. But meditation on something, that's all. That is why we don't call it meditation, we call it concentration. Meditation in Vedanta context, meditation on reality or God alone is called meditation. All other things are concentrations.
I think Eric made a really good point too in focusing on the how of things. Not just the why or the what, but how we do things. But sometimes that's, practically speaking, the simplest guide is to do something in a way that is loving, kind, effective, generous, unselfish. So
That how, in a general way, we may talk about different methods. Ultimately, it comes to the individual. How you understand, how you practice that, it comes to an individual. Life itself becomes individualistic. I do my way, you do your way. Then how to answer? But in a general way, yes, this method, that method is there. But ultimately, when it comes to the individual, it's an individual method. Say, think of, we are all sitting here. A person may be talking, you may be talking, or I may be talking. It appears to be a general way of understanding, everyone can understand. No, each one understands in one's own way. Meditation also, we are all sitting for meditation. We are all devotees of God. Each one is meditating in one's own way inside. That how boils down to that. Even experience is like that. very subjective, inward. An ordinary experience also like that. Say I'm hearing music. I also appreciate music, you also appreciate music, everyone is appreciate music. Inwardly, each one is appreciating in one's own way. Spiritual experience also, infinite experience. I experience God, you experience God, everyone will experience God, each in one's own way. But there are some common factors also there. The expression of that, say love, service, knowledge. All right, we'll continue tomorrow.